Driving through Portland, Oregon, it's clear this city is unlike any on tour. Tucked away in the heart of the Pacific Northwest, the Rose City is a melting pot of culture and proudly unique in all aspects of life. So it comes as no surprise that the Stumptown disc golf scene is similarly one of a kind. Adding to this singularity, Portland is home to one of the few Elite Plus events of the year. With more points at stake, it's a chance for the outliers to make their push in the standings. Rain or shine, life and disc golf in Portland moves on. We hope you'll join us all week long. The 2024 Portland Open starts now.
Hello and welcome to round 1 of 4 of the 2024 Portland Open presented by Latitude 64. This is an Elite Plus event, just like we heard old Nate Sexton say. Worth more points. The biggie. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the Two Hot Geese.
Honk.
Second year as an Elite Plus. 4th year at Glendoveer.
Yep.
5th year of the Portland Open. There's some math for you guys right out
numbers.
that gate. Woo-hoo.
Well, you got Glendoveer West and Glendoveer East. We start out with West, second round West, third round East, final round East. We're watching Ella Hansen. In 2024 so far, she's 73% of the time finding the fairway, 59% of the time Circle 2 in regulation, and making 70% of her Circle 1 putts.
Scoggins, 77% fairway hits, 59% Circle 2 in regulation, and 81% C1X putting on the season. Always plays well out here in Portland.
Third on our feature card, we have Rebecca Cox. Yay, 76% fairway hits, 56% of the time she's getting to Circle 2 for a birdie putt. She's making 69% of her Circle 1X putts this year. A new putting form we're seeing from Rebecca that she's been polishing, and happy to see it.
And Juliana Korver did really well, I believe 3rd place last year, 73% fairway hits, 56% Circle 2 in regulation, and 51% C1X putting.
Hole 1, it's 699 feet, and we're starting out with a doozy of a hole. It's downhill with out of bounds on the left and right side, but you're more worried about that left-hand side off the tee. You kind of want your disc to go right. Anheuser is a risky shot, but it works fine. Forehand's great as well. Your second shot, you're supposed to get to this green, but that...
Says who?
Yeah, says who is right. This thing is smaller than it looks. There's out of bounds all around it in a million different ways.
Welcome to the 2024 Portland Open presented by Latitude 64. We are here at Glendoveer Golf Course for the feature card of the FPO division. Up first on this tee time, out of Orange City, Iowa, champion of the 95 Des Moines Open in her first pro victory, winning $38. Give it up to Juliana Korver.
Notably her biggest win, for sure.
This guy did a great job digging through everyone's past and finding their most obscure win.
Yeah, Juliana tied with Owen for 3rd last year. Had a really great showing at this event. And she starts off with a big turnover. I think she's going to be a little bit too far right, but not bad.
Next on the box, your champion of the 2016 Thornageddon 2 in Goshen, Ohio. From Cincinnati, Rebecca Cox.
So the tee pad, everything felt relatively calm, but once you round this corner, it is a bit of a headwind, which kind of stinks because you can't tell, and it definitely would affect people's decision-making and angles here. You can see how sharp this disc has to turn. I like Rebecca cutting the corner a little bit, taking the low route.
Safe, but pretty short.
Next to tee. Out of Los Angeles, California, winner of the 2020 Central Park Smashdown, Owen Scoggins.
If you got it, I think the forehand is the play off the tee. I kind of figured we'd see Owen do this. Kind of surprised she's not throwing a backhand.
Owen always plays well on the East course. She's set the record on that course the last 2 years in a row, which is pretty crazy. See how she attacks the West course today.
Last for your feature card, champion of the 2023 Frosted Fleens, out of Seattle, Washington, Ella Hansen.
Ella has a much shorter disc golf history than the women on the card with her.
But all fueled up from her latest win and that delicious, what was that, burrito she was eating?
Yeah, definitely.
Some sort of breakfast sandwich.
I think she is next in line only to Cat Merch for shortest time span between first cash and first win on tour.
Cool.
Yep. Cat Merch beats the record by only 7 days with her win in JomezPro last year. Rebecca Cox doing what most people do. Oh, my God. I was gonna say layup, but honestly, I think a lot of people do that too. Throw it right into that bunker.
I think the play kind of is to throw at it and then fade to the left. Oh no!
Yeah, that's this little teeny bit of a headwind was kind of whipping through this hole.
And you don't want to end up too far left and increase your, approach distance.
There's also an OB line over there, so you can't just crash in something. Heiser, everyone having very similar issues here. Ella getting just over it, though.
How you want to do it, though.
Mm-hmm. Oh, looks like she's lining it up.
She would. No,
okay.
So looking at Statmando's information, which I'm assuming how you got that very specific information about Cat Merch. If you just knew that, that's crazy. Ella's win by 7 strokes last event at OTB is the largest margin of victory for a first-time winner since Kona Montgomery in 2021 Waco, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, it was her first bogey-free round as well.
Yeah.
So the fact that she did both at the same time in the same tournament, Ella's on one right now.
Rebecca approaching, leaves it to about 20 feet from inside that hazard.
No approach is close enough on these anthill greens. They are just so scary.
You don't think that's close enough? It's close enough. I really want those little mounds inside the bunker to be in bounds so badly. You know what I'm talking about?
Honestly, can't believe that they're not. I'm checking the caddy book to make sure they're not.
They're not.
Wow. So this plays as the hardest hole of the day.
What a way to start.
Yeah, what a doozy.
Rebecca in with a nice little tester putt to get things going.
This is one of those tweener holes where if you get a 5 on this one, you're not beating yourself up. Even though it is hole 1, you're like, ugh, bogey. But it's fine. This is one that you pick your battles on. One that I play for par. I don't even try to attack.
I think most of the field is playing for par.
Mm-hmm. There was only one birdie today. Anniken Stain. God, I want to know how far her putt was because that's wild.
Own in for par, as is Ella. Juliana going to have to settle for the double here. Pretty nice day. It was like 60 degrees with a chilly wind. Nice and sunny and pretty. I love being in Portland, or just Oregon generally. Hole 2, you can take this right-hand backhand route. There's a mandatory on the right, as you can see. Pretty, I don't know, small gap. It's pretty small. If you want to go that way, and then this basket is behind this tree here. I like the sidearm going out to the left. There is an OB line on the left that comes into play if you take that route. You can even do a backhand turnover or a flex line even from that side as well. The right side OB is not something I've ever thought about, but I guess it's over there.
This is one of those holes where in practice you throw like 14 shots and then you pick all your discs up and you walk right back to the tee pad and just do them all again because there's so many options and none of them feel like necessarily good enough to be the best one. Unless you have this.
Yeah. Great shot from Owen. This course does a good job of kind of using a low ceiling and making you throw power shots. Like this one feels farther than 327 on the sidearm, and that tree is just right in the way. We see Ella get caught up.
There was a little bit of a headwind here. Really have to work something a little bit more stable.
It was a different wind than the last couple days as well, so
Yep.
one that probably no one really practiced.
Rebecca, you can see keeping it nice and low, just trying not to hit those branches, coming up just a bit short.
Juliana shooting the gap here with a nice turnover. It's flexing back. Nice. And there's that right side. She actually outdrives the hole, it looks like. Or is pin high at least. Great shot.
Oh, I thought Rebecca was much shorter than that.
She's got a look.
Heck yeah.
Good bid. Online just a bit low. Ooh, okay.
Nice
What a putt.
Yeah, nice way to start the round from Juliana, and what a great bounce back.
Especially after missing a short one. Let's see that again. Great extension there. Love to see it. Juliana has an elite podium the last 3 seasons, which is pretty dang cool. Portland last year, third at OTB in 2022, and third at Masters Cup in 2021.
For those of you that don't know why that's cool, Juliana has been playing disc golf longer than many of us have been alive. Not me, to be clear. But her career is extremely long. She's been winning events for 30 years.
Owen with a tap-in birdie there.
There were 11 birdies on this hole today. About a quarter of the field got it. 3 of them from circle 2. Bet a lot of those were forehand shots.
I think even's going to be a good score. Last year, I think the top, maybe 12-ish ladies were under par.
Yep. And I think 5 or 6 down was usually a hot round. I think there was maybe an 8 down. Let's check out hole 3. This is one of the more gettable holes. Still by no means easy. Look at this elevated basket. Those are always a little scary. There is low ceiling that comes into play much further down the fairway. A simple hyzer will do it for you, but you do have to have some good skip on the end. If not, you're forced to kind of flex something like we see Owen trying to do here, going around the branches. And she'll be in circle 2. That's a really common landing zone. 21 out of 46 competitors finding circle 2 here. Only 9 finding circle 1.
Juliana really hanging this out wide and a little high. Let's see if she can get around all these branches. Gets caught up on that last tree. Kind of circle 2's edge, it looks like.
There's no OB right or left here, and it just makes me wish I could throw a roller so bad.
Whoa. Really late release. Low shot from Ella. Just going to have to settle for a par at best. Rebecca pretty high and nose up with this one. Going to be contending with all of those branches and dropping short. Strangely an easy mistake to make.
Main thing here is you do want to error to the right side. Being left, you have to contend with all those trees. Can make the upshot too tricky. Ella missed nice and wide right.
Great little jump putt approach. And right in between throw and putt distance.
Juliana with a nice soft bid.
Rebecca from just outside circle 2, definitely giving that a run. See if Owen can get this just outside the circle putt.
Ooh.
She sails it over the top.
It was forecasted only 5-mile-per-hour winds out of the north today, but sometimes it felt like it was up towards 10. A little breezy.
Good comebacker for Own there. So last year, 9 down was the best round on West. Kristen Tatar, who was not playing this event. And that was, I think, 3 better. I think 6 down was the second best score. Oh, that was dirty.
Man, that was mean. Yeah, these, no,
Oh, man.
I
haven't had
agree.
very many of these this season.
No.
Yeah, straight through all the chains.
These baskets really do not like the left side, I've learned. There were only 8 birdies on hole 3 today. I think we'll see more tomorrow.
Kind of interesting to attack the same course 2 days in a row. Usually we alternate.
The West course is much more difficult than the East course.
Let's call it grueling.
It's there's still some birdies out there, but it definitely caters to a more of a distance shot. And
You trying to say it's an absolute physical and mental slog out there?
it sure is. Bear with us. Hole 4,
It's a par 4, 485 feet. Everyone's going to be laying up short of this water. Putter or mid-range is usually the play. That path is inbound. Second shot, you're going to a very small green across the water here. There's a hazard sand trap. There's an OB green. There's water on the right. Very skinny. It's, maybe 23 feet across, sloping from left to right. There's more room behind, so if you're gonna make a mistake, pushing deep on the second shot is the way to do it. The most frustrating thing in the world is throwing this upshot and then ending up on this downslope in between the ball golf teeing areas. You really want to land flat.
Owen clears that little downslope. She is on the cart path, and that's fine. Like Erika said, it is inbounds. There was a little bit of a left to right wind here.
Juliana going putter there. JKAVRX. Is she on the side hill or did she make it?
I think she made it.
That looks pretty fluffed.
Yeah,
I wonder if she's trying to go there.
maybe so. Ella is on the short part.
Which is fine. As long as you're not on the slant, it's not that far.
Yeah, Rebecca looking like she's doing a similar game plan here.
As a resident of the slant, I understand this play and am tempted.
Does lengthen this shot a little bit more. And this is a
Classic.
pretty classic mistake. It's crazy how centered up you can get on the screen.
Yeah, you really have to hang it over the water if you're throwing anything with any kind of stability. I like the slower speed disc here from Rebecca.
Ooh, I love how low and linear that is too.
So good. Rebecca got 10th here last year.
Juliana also keeping it nice and low so it doesn't get any skips or crazy ground play. Really breaking this 485-foot hole down into 2 controlled shots.
2 putter shots, it looks like.
Owen doing things a little differently.
Always.
Spiking into the green, and it works.
Always doing things differently, always going, it works at the end. Yep. Weird. I did the exact same thing on this hole. From that exact same spot. I can tell you for a fact it doesn't feel good, in case you're wondering. At least that one sat for Rebecca.
This is one of the more dangerous greens on the course. There's a few of those on the West course that you really have to be careful with. Pretty classic golf course design, really utilizing those slopes for the greens. I hate it.
Juliana getting another birdie, moving back to even. Say big thanks to all the spotters today. Also, there was a huge gallery for a Thursday. Pretty cool.
Yeah, and the amount of volunteers out there, Stumptown Disc Golf, I can't even just say the club because there's a million of them in the Portland greater area. You guys rule.
Owen just casually moving to a 2 down.
This played as the 6th most difficult hole of the day, only 14 birdies out of 48 competitors. Juliana working her way back to even with 2 birdies.
Only about 5 or 6 ladies under par. Stacy Kiefer also 2 down.
Moving on to another very long par 3, 375 feet, but it's uphill at first, and then you have to go straight for a little bit, and then you have to go back downhill on this par 3. There's also a Mando on the right-hand side that takes out the dummy hyzer line that allows you to go around in the flat. This is a big turnover, I think is the best way to get there, or a big flexing shot. A forehand can get there as well, but you really have to have some good power to get up and over the hill.
We do not see, or at least last year, did not see a lot of birdies here.
Yeah, this played is the 3rd most difficult hole today, and that is all due to lack of birdies.
This is the classic bailout play. It's pretty open over there. It just takes a really crazy shot to get all the way down there.
It sure does. And while you're trying to throw it as hard as you can to get there, it's really easy to error and miss the Mando. You can see Juliana potentially making that mistake right now.
Yeah. That's why it doesn't really feel worth it to attack.
No, I like the bailout play as well that Erika's talking about, but it also makes for a little bit of a tricky approach. The green is, again, sloped, and sometimes throwing approaches, they can pick up and do a little roll. You got a longer comeback putt than you want.
Such a specific example. I like Rebecca's just kind of straight pushing shot. It does hyzer a bit at the end, but looks like she's maybe just outside circle 2.
That's a great shot from Ella.
Yeah, it is.
She's in circle 2.
One of the best we're going to see, and not even in the circle, though.
What'd she throw there? Do we have a disc yet?
Yeah, not from her.
Okay.
So
I couldn't
leave
tell
it in
if
the
was,
comments. Guess.
I couldn't tell if it was a mid. It was a really nice shot. There was only 7 people that got to circle 2 in regulation. Only 1 that got to circle 1. So, whoa.
I am surprised they didn't change this one.
Me too.
After the statistics from last year were abysmal.
Yeah.
There are some good changes on this course, though, coming up. Just wait for it.
Yeah, you can see this approach is just a little tricky. Everyone doing a good job of keeping the disc nice and flat coming in. There were only 3 birdies today. Let's see if Ella can get one of them. Nice, soft, conservative run. Missy Gannon, Holland Hanley, and Sophia Danecki were the only 3 to get birdies.
Such a good one.
Missy was in the bullseye?
Big arm Missy.
What is
She's a master at those little turnover-y, flexy shots. Both
Yep.
shots.
Both Holland and Sophia made circle 2 putts to get this one. We'll watch everyone tap in their pars. Juliana with the bogey after that Mando miss. And we got a little bit of an uphill walk to the first par 5 of the day. Owen, the only one able to hold it under par on our feature card. 1 down is good enough for top 3 right now.
You ready?
Ready.
Hole 5 is a par 6, 908 feet. uphill most of the way, especially at the end. There's a gap to hit in the beginning. There's a few different lines you can take, but you want to throw far. Second shot, you want to get to the base of this hill if you can. Third shot, you want to throw all the way up this hill, but you always end up throwing a little shorter than you think. This is a really good change. This basket used to be farther into the trees on the right, and that little mandatory there really came into play. It used to be a really difficult birdie, and now it's much more reachable.
Let's watch Missy on a different card. Throw a huge drive. She lands in the flat in this teeing surface, which is a big advantage. Sometimes you land on a little slopey area. She's able to bite off huge distance on her second shot, even getting up onto the hill. Wow, that's Big R Missy is in full effect.
She's doing it.
Holy moly.
Wow, made it look really easy.
Only 7 people got to circle 1 in regulation. Missy is one of them. She gets the birdie as well. And that's, what's that? How many? That's 4 in a row.
Oh.
So as I was perusing the course for regional birds today, I saw a lot of dark-eyed juncos. And
Fantastic.
they were sometimes calling so much that it was distracting. So I feel like that's a good little mischievous bird.
Excellent.
Missy Gannon with a dark-eyed junco.
Perusing the course for regional birds is also just a very pleasing sentence, so thank you for that. Rebecca throwing a big shot here. Looks like her Orbit Sapphire. I believe last year in that farther pin position, Ella and Holland were the only ones to birdie it. And I believe those were with rollers.
Yeah, I was
probably on the
about to
second
say.
shot.
Yep. It's really important on this tee shot to not hit one of those really big trees right in front of you. Erika forgot to mention that.
I said there was trees. You know you're supposed to. They know what they're supposed to do.
Yep.
This man, that little head down walk of shame is like.
I also took that same walk today.
Yeah, it can make the par pretty difficult too.
It's almost impossible. It's so hard. Juliana forced to kind of put something out wide to the right, which changes the way you attack the hole entirely. There is an out of bounds line on the right-hand side that comes into play so fast.
Own second looking good here. Gonna stop just short of the base of the hill. Man, from the bottom of the hill, it really looks like yeah, I could get up there, sure. And then
you laugh.
Then you laugh at your folly, yeah. Rebecca putting a lot of power on it, but pretty low there. Gonna come up a little shorter than she wants. Still good.
So when you're standing on the tee pad and you have a pretty strong tailwind, when you get up here, you think probably also a tailwind, but you would be wrong. It changed to a headwind halfway down the fairway.
Yeah, that was weird.
It was so weird.
It was nice to have a tailwind off the tee, though. I noticed that because it was a headwind in practice.
Mm-hmm. And it was a headwind as you get to the base of this hill.
Roller. Dang it. Man, that was her drive.
Yeah. I like Ella working her way up the left-hand side. It opens up a hyzer to the basket without having to worry about the Mando. Rebecca is trying to throw a power shot here, wanting to make sure she doesn't turn this disc over, and she sure doesn't.
Wow. Great shot. Own. Going forehand.
Obviously.
Towards the out of bounds and the mandatory. Classic.
Man, she throws those far.
That's a great shot.
That's so impressive.
Mm-hmm. Perfect angle control. Juliana dealing with this upslope makes for a pretty awkward run up. A lot of times you see early releases off the... Yep, that looked pretty early out of the hand.
Mm-hmm. So I said earlier, 7 people got to circle 1 in regulation. 16 got to circle 2, so kind of a big jump.
Ella trying to spike that thing in for eagle, looks like. Own about 45 feet, maybe a little shorter for a birdie.
There were 9 birdies today out of 48 competitors.
Oh man, Rebecca, so close on those long bids. And it's about this time where you're so hungry for your first birdie that you just want to lightly punch a soft, inanimate object.
Yeah, this course is very frustrating. You have to be so patient because a lot of the birdies are not reachable by mere mortals.
Ella on the board with her first birdie. Juliana gonna card the only bogey, Ella only birdie. Owen gonna skip off with her par, still bogey free.
And 2 down is good enough to be leading the field right now. Missy Gannon, Stacy Kiefer, and Sophia going to be in that tie for first with Owen. Hole 7, finally, a hole that is reachable by everybody.
Woo!
But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's easy. Look how close this bunker is to the basket. It's only about 14 feet away. It drops off that direction as well. So any hyzers coming in can very easily skip. And the forehands have to carry it and land hopefully just close enough where you don't have to putt right back at it. It's 308 feet, but it is downhill. It definitely plays shorter than that.
Ella with way too much hyzer angle on that.
What we hate about these bunkers is that they're hazard. So wherever you land, you got to putt from where the disc lies.
Sidearm is a great play to combat the bunker here.
But it does often leave you with this type of a putt right back towards that out of bounds bunker.
That's exactly where Owen thrives.
That's true.
Super dangerous putt outside the circle. I could pick anyone to throw that shot for me.
It's true.
It's a pinch putter.
Rebecca going so safe here. Oh,
really
maybe
nice.
Not. Maybe not.
That was a gold line compass.
Loved that.
Mid-range play.
There was a little bit of left to right wind here every once in a while.
Yeah, pretty friendly wind for the backhand shot. Juliana going Atlas here.
Ooh.
That looks great, but it's going to be close.
Oh my gosh. So much touch. 11.
I love the slower speed disc play for the backhand.
Me too. 11 people got to circle 1. 22 got to circle 2. Huge jump here.
I bet several of those circle 1s, though, are from inside the hazard.
Yeah. Oh, I bet you're right.
Mine was.
Owen ramps off the top of the basket. Lands safe, though.
Doesn't make good on the comebacker. She's looking at her first bogey of the round. Ella trying to save par just inside the circle here.
Nice.
Yeah, great putt.
Nice smooth looking putt like we saw from her at OTB, especially in rounds 2 and 3.
Rebecca trying to get that first birdie. There we go.
Nice. Can we talk about how nice these baskets would look with little flags on top of them?
We can.
We all love that. Juliana with a birdie as well. Nice way to bounce back from a couple bogeys in a row. There were 12 birdies on hole 7 today, 25% of the field.
This was a really good change. It used to be a blind shot from farther back and to the right. Man, that would look so good with a little flag. Just imagine it. Just flapping.
We love
gently.
flags on the baskets. For everyone out there watching and wanting to make their course perfect. Stacy Kiefer in currently solo first, 3 down through 7.
Hole 8 is a very fun downhill tee shot. It's a par 4 for us, 698 feet. That short basket in between the trees is the MPO basket. We are going past it. You can see there's a mandatory tree on the left. It's good to land out to the right potentially, so you don't have to shoot this gap. If you land farther to the left off the tee, you do have to go in between, right over that red basket we just passed. The basket here has one tree stump in the way that weirdly is easy to hit, and one bush that can also be strangely easy to find. We love a big downhill shot.
Yeah, we do. It's a bit of a headwind here. And like Erika said, being to the right is definitely advantageous for opening up, but man, it does lengthen the hole a little bit as well. We can see Rebecca attacking that left-hand side. There is a Mando as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry if you said that.
Juliana working that right side here with her halo turn. Good distance.
Ella with a monster shot.
Yeah. So much distance.
Even having time to get a little finish at the end back to the left.
Should be able to make pretty easy work of that, hopefully. It's a wide open look from over there.
This played as the second easiest hole of the day. It's one that you are really pushing for the birdie here.
Owen is throwing a Star Racer that she just put in the bag, so not all destroyers. Looks like it has some nice turn on it, and she gets some good distance there.
Juliana through that center gap that Erika was talking about. You can see that stump is truly right in the way of a hyzer. Look at that wind. Just take advantage of the turn that Juliana puts on her disc.
Yeah, not a bad shot, but definitely getting affected by the wind there. Owen able to go to the right side of this tree. Oh, she's going flexy too, and that also is turned too much and is not able to come back, but she's in circle 2.
Rebecca with a strange little gap here.
I was looking at her shirt. It is a strange little gap.
Oh, she goes hyzer. I love that.
Yeah, really nice.
Oh, that's so good.
I didn't even know there was a mini gap over there.
Me neither.
Ella's so far.
Wow. The fact that she's able to throw forehand past the trees. And she's
easy
in the bullseye.
Juliana from at least 50 feet. Her circle 2 bids are looking really strong today.
Only 14 people got to circle 1 in regulation today, while 35 got to circle 2. Owen, one of only 3 people to make one of the circle 2 putts.
Then she bounces away. Rebecca, 2 birdies in a row. Let's go.
And Ella Hansen with a tap-in for birdie.
Rebecca and Ella both moving back to even par.
Through hole 8, the best score so far is 3 down. Stacy Kiefer and Lisa Fakis. Like Erika said earlier, even par is great here, especially with the more challenging back 9. Let's wrap up the front, though, with this 300-foot par 3. It's uphill. It definitely plays longer than that 300 feet. The low ceiling and the tight gap that you have to hit with that is a double Mando also makes this hole stretch out a little bit. It's one of those ones that's right in front of you, a perfect disc golf hole, but man, is it tough to get there.
Let's watch Missy Gannon from the second feature card. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Sweet little roll, too. It's perfect anyway.
High fives, 2 trees, and the chains.
Missy moving back to 2 down there. If you miss these mandatories, it's a re-tee. It's pretty crazy.
Oh. Oof.
Yeah. No drop zone. Rebecca early finds a gap, though. That's fine.
That's kind of a bailout play. It's probably not on purpose, but if you're feeling a little nervous about all the big trees, that is a good place to land.
Ella with what looks like a slower speed disc here, putting a lot of power on it, and I think that's inside the circle. It looked great.
Yeah, those 2 trees right that Missy hit before she was parked are perfect guardian trees if you land just a little bit left or right of those. It's crazy how difficult it is to get a putt. Owen going to have to contend with that one big one on the right.
That's a pretty typical play as well, working the flex line out to the right. There's some gaps over there. Another halo turn from Juliana. Gets into circle 2, short left.
12 people got to circle 1 in regulation today. Double that got to circle 2. This is a pretty classic play, not having a putt and just having to chip up for par. Owen going to have to do the same here. Owen makes those trees look huge. Juliana does have a look, floats it a little, but she checks up nicely just outside the bullseye for par.
Ella having to straddle just outside the circle. Smooth looking run. Pin high, or chain high on the right.
There were 11 birdies today.
Just the most infuriating 300 feet. Looking right at it.
It sure is.
Looking like a round of pars for our feature card here.
This is the par 3s on this course are really good about, you could play the whole, 50 times and you would maybe get it a third of the time. Mm-hmm. It's like, it is skill based. It's not luck based, but it's so hard. It's like the best shot of your life.
Yeah, keeps you honest, that's for sure.
It sure does. All right, let's see where everyone's sitting after 9. 3 down is going to be leading right now. Sophia Danecki.
From Canada. She's awesome.
She is awesome, and she is very talented as well. To be in the top 10, you got to be under par.
Bunch of people. Look at that tie for second. It's like 8 people.
A lot of people 1 down as well. And not a lot of scoring separation happening on the West course, which is pretty typical. Even with the couple changes they made, it's still really difficult to score and to, make up for your bogeys.
Yeah.
Because you're going to get them.
You are. The back really lengthens. We'll see if Ella and some of the power throwers have some advantage back there. Lots of long walks, lots of beautiful Portland weather. Come join us for the back 9. Thanks again to the Founders Club. Who am I? I'm Erika Stinchcomb.
I'm Madison Walker. We're your 2 hotkeys.
Honk.
Honk.
Said my name wrong.